Okay. Michael's on Facebook, Pastor Steve, and he asks, why do you, so many Christians seem so relaxed in their walk with Christ?
Well, it depends on what you mean by relaxed. I'm relaxed in my walk with Christ in the sense that, I have peace and I have joy and I love being with Jesus. And if that's what you're talking about, that's why, because we have the love of the Lord. If you're talking about relaxed in the sense that they're disobedient, I think it's because they're fleshly. Paul, when he was talking to the church at Corinth, he told them that they were carnal. It means fleshy, that they were carnal and they walked like men. And so, Mike, if you're talking about those that are...
He just commented, relaxed as in lazy.
Oh, relaxed as in lazy. Yeah. Oh gosh, that's one of those things. It's a judgment call, and I don't know who you're talking about. When you say relaxed as in lazy, I immediately think of myself. And
do you? What do you mean by that? I don't think of you lazy.
I know you don't, but I do, because you don't know me.
I know what you do, though. I know how hard you work.
Yeah, I know. But it's one of those things where I look at myself and I go, I don't even think of myself as doing half of what I could be doing. I'm busy, like you're taught. That's what you see. I'm busy, but then there are times when I think that I could be doing so much more and that kind of stuff. But I think that that's a good attitude to have. Jesus said when you've done everything that's been commanded, you need to look at yourself and say, and basically say, I'm an unfruitful servant.
Yeah.
And so I think that there's going to be that kind of attitude for everything. So I rarely go around looking at other people and actually just commenting on their laziness, because I spend a lot of time looking at myself. And so I think that's a better place to have your eyes on yourself. And not to pick on you and stuff, but like I said, as soon as you said lazy, I think of Steve, and what I could have been doing or what I should have been doing, or all the time that I've wasted in my life. As far as laziness, let's just use it in a general sense. It's a love issue. It's always a love issue. Jesus said, if you love me, then do what I say. If you're not doing what he says, it's because you love something more, and more than you love the Lord. And that's usually the problem. When I have been in those positions where I've just refused to do what God wants me to do, it's because I love something more than I love him. And that's always got to be the thing that you look at, the issue that you're taking care of. How much do you love the Lord? Where's your heart at? And you can see this with other issues too. When you're talking about your love for the people who are around you. If I love my dad asked me to do something, am I on it or not? If I love my mom, am I on it or not? If I love my wife, if my wife loves me, if my kids love me, especially if my kids love me, are they on it? Are they doing all the things that I want them to? Nathan Winnery, are you doing everything that I want you to? I'm just joking around, but it's an issue of priorities. And so if I'm putting me first above Jesus, that's going to be evident. If I'm putting others above Jesus, that's going to be evident. And so I just wrap that all back in love. That's what I do with myself too.
Yeah.
Jesus, the reason I'm not doing what you say is because I don't love you enough.
Yeah, without
Please
pointing
help.
the finger or being judgmental, I like what you said about yourself, because I can too be the most lazy person. Like if you give me a case of Mountain Dew and a bag of Doritos, I can be in my chair for 3 days. I remember getting rebuked by that verse in Proverbs. The guy's so lazy, he can't even lift his hand from the bowl to feed his mouth.
I love that verse.
Yeah, so I get it. Yeah. I totally get it. But when you look at the church right now, in the context of what we should be doing in Paul's example, you know, they gave everything.
Yeah.
They literally gave everything to the point of suffering.
Yeah.
You know, willing to go do stuff, not because it was inconvenient, but what it costs. And then you see our church today, and this is where I agree with Michael's point, is you see a church today, and it's like one of my biggest pet peeves is it's like they treat it less than they would their work. As far as showing up on time, or as far as being involved, or that looks fun, I want to do that, and then they find like, and they flake out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's and you already answered it. It comes down to a love issue, but when you look at the last church, what is it, Laodicea, this lukewarm, one foot's in the door, one foot's out of the door. I think that's a characteristic of the end times church, that laziness, just this apathy, is something that we should definitely watch out for on a personal level.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, it's just one of those things that you see down through the ages. It was the same. It was the same thing with Paul in the New Testament. He said, "I don't have anything like anyone like Timothy, who's like-minded, and will sincerely care for your state, as I do." And what he's doing is looking around at the guys that he's serving with, and he's saying, "Timothy's the guy," because nobody's like this guy. Nobody really cares like he does, and so Paul had the same issues.
Sure.